Hi there. Welcome back to Let's Not Talk About the Husband. Here I am. Let's not talk about
You
me.
kill
okay?
me. You just kill me.
I know you want me to get a haircut.
I do want you to get a haircut, and you will, right?
Well,
You will.
I'm a good boy. Yeah. And I now that Jonathan is working at Sally Hirschberger again, did he ever work
Yes.
there before? Or she started working with him.
I think
right?
they worked together 25 years ago at his salon on Santa Monica.
So full circle. Now he's back there. So I can't wait to go in and have Jonathan trim me up.
Yeah, because he is excited to be there. And he's cut your hair for 25 years or more.
At least 25 years. Ever since he was doing that show Blowout. Maybe even before he was doing Blowout.
That's right.
Yeah.
And no one, and I'm going to say this, and I love a lot of hairstylists, no one cuts your hair like Jonathan Anton. No one.
Well, he sure takes his time. So he's a perfectionist. There's no question about it. I mean, if he sees one hair, I mean, hairs are really small. I mean, they're tiny little things.
It's
right?
unbelievable.
If he sees one hair out of place, he will spend 5 minutes making sure that hair is just perfect.
It's unbelievable. And doesn't he cut his own hair with a Flowbee?
Yeah.
I didn't know what a Flowbee was. And it's like a vacuum, isn't it?
It's the thing he puts on his head, and he calibrates it so that it cuts it just right. And you put it on your head and it goes, and then you have a haircut.
So why doesn't everybody do a Flowbee? Because then nobody would make any money. No hairdressers would make money.
Well, there you go. But the Flowbee's kind of an interesting idea. I think he's designed a whole new one, if I'm not mistaken. He told me he's got a new product line.
Oh.
And one of the things is a Flowbee kind of thing. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Flowbee by Jonathan Anton.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that myself.
I love it too. And you have never been to Sally Hirschberger, which I've been going for, 20 years. So it'll be cute for you to go and have your own Sally Hirschberger experience. It'll be so cute.
Yeah. I mean,
I got you to smile twice already. I am batting 1,000. You guys, I haven't seen his teeth all week. And I get here and we sit across from each other. And my goal is to make him laugh and smile. And guess what? Twice already in the first 5 minutes.
So yeah, maybe we should move in here. Then I'll be smiling a lot more. I heard that we got some attention on the internet.
We did?
Since our last podcast.
What does that mean? Attention on the internet.
It means that people have kind of called in with questions and stuff for us to answer and talk about.
Oh, yes.
That's all I kind of know at this point. But Eve, do we have to do something special for this?
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of voicemails from your listeners and your viewers. Yes. So I'm going to play some of the voicemails and then you guys can respond to them. And we have some questions for you guys about your lives. And then we also have some advice questions so you guys can dole out your best advice.
I'm ready. Oh, I sound like a radio personality.
Cute radio personality. All right.
Eva, ready.
Lisa and Harry, hi. I'm a big fan. You guys always talk about how different you guys are and how opposite you are, but I'd love to know just like what you guys love about each other. Why did you guys choose each other and why are you still married 30 years later? Like what keeps you guys choosing each other even though you're so different? I'd love to know what keeps the spark.
That's a good question. Wow. That's a real good question.
What keeps the spark? Yeah.
Like, why do we like each other when we have nothing in common?
Okay. So is there a spark?
I think there is.
Yeah.
I think there's some chemistry. See, they fuck up my hair. That's why I do not like them.
Oh, yeah?
Not that my hair can't be fucked up. Do you know that Andy Cohen grabbed my hair? He thought it was a wig. He did not believe that my hair was real. And I said, grab it.
This is the same hair you've had for years and 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 years.
He's so fucking shady sometimes. I thought.
Easy now. Andy, she didn't really mean it. Andy,
you're fucking shady.
No, she didn't really mean
anyway,
it. Andy. No,
he is.
She's having one of those days, Andy. It's all right. So listen, so we are together. We've been together for 30 some odd years.
32.
We still like each other.
Almost 33.
Most of the time. Yeah, almost 33. That's true.
It'll be 33 March 29th. No. It'll be 28 March 29th.
For wedding.
That's for the wedding, which I saw our wedding planner today.
How about that?
I saw our wedding planner today at this Elise Walker party.
Wow. So
I haven't seen her.
She did a fantastic job with our wedding. Maybe that's why we've been together so long, because the wedding was so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It was so perfect. It was in our backyard.
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything fancy like,
Bountiful, Sue from Bountiful, which was an amazing store in Venice. She brought all the
The chandeliers.
Chandeliers and the urns. And
it was quite beautiful, I have to say. We'll have to find some pictures of that and show some pictures of the wedding because it was really amazing.
And all black and white photos. That's the one regret that I have.
Well, they're beautiful black and white
photos. They're beautiful,
photos.
but we took, 2 regrets. No video and no colored photos. Because I had this aversion to having a video of the wedding.
I know you did.
How weird is that?
You said, no, I don't want any videos. And now, 20 some odd years later, I wish we had videos of the wedding.
And colored photos. We have black and white sepia photos, which are gorgeous. But like, what was I thinking? Sometimes I go, what are you thinking, Renna?
I could go back over a million things that have happened over the last 30 some odd years and say, Renna, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
All right. But you could say the same thing about me.
Well, not as much as me. Not as much as me. Let's be honest about it. Not as much as me.
Okay.
Renna, what were you thinking? That could be a t-shirt. Renna, what were you thinking? Oh my God.
So we are together. So what is it? What is the thing that keeps us together? It's maybe we can say what it's not.
I don't know. What is it not?
Well, it's not that we're compatible in any kind of way that we're
yeah, but we must be because we've been together for 32 years. There must be something that makes us not get divorced.
Well,
what is that?
Because we don't piss each other off and we don't. You don't annoy me.
That's what it is, because you don't annoy me either.
Okay.
And I'm very annoyable.
Yes,
aren't
you are.
I?
Yes, you are very annoyable.
So you should feel really good about that because I am so annoyable. The fact that you don't annoy me is a miracle.
It's true, but I do sometimes. I mean, sometimes.
Not really, though.
Well, once in a while, I'll get a little bit of shade from you.
But everyone does.
Well, that's true.
So, I mean, it's not like you're special.
You have, I guess, an abundance of shade to dole out. And if ever somebody needs to get shaded upon, you're there to do it. So
yeah, I wouldn't take that as a badge of honor because I really do that with everybody.
Let's see. So you're cute and you're energetic and you're funny.
I'm cute and I'm energetic?
Yeah, you have.
And I'm funny?
Yeah. I mean, you keep the ship rolling. You keep the train going. You keep, yeah. I mean, I have to say, there's a kind of a light that you have, which I admire. So
what is it that you have?
I have no fucking clue. Why do you hang out with me? I mean,
Well, you take care of things. You're a very good MacGyver type person, and my father could fix everything. Because, they say you choose your father in many ways. You're working out your shit. You fix your fixer. You can fix anything. I can pretty much, count on you.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Like, I know that you're going to take care of things.
Well, wait a second. Whenever you leave the house, you say, Harry, you're not going to feed the dog. I know you're not going to put water in the bowl. I know this and on and on and on about all the things I'm not going to get accomplished.
I only say a few of them.
And
you just pointed them out.
But
I'm worried about the dogs, and I'm worried about the water, and I'm worried about you just not paying attention to other beings.
But I do pay attention to other beings. So you miss something along the way because I do.
Well, why does it concern me? We got to take a look at that because it does make me go, well, I hope they don't starve to death and I hope they have water.
Like the house is going to burn down or something.
No, I don't think of that because we have a fire hose.
Well, that's true. We're well prepared when it comes to that. So, but let's see.
You're cute. I think you and I are so narcissistic that cuteness goes a long way.
Well, you smell good too.
Oh.
Okay.
So do you.
And
so do you.
Okay. So we smell good to each other.
And you just don't bug me. You know how people can really bug you? You just don't bug me.
Okay. So that goes a long way.
I think that goes a really, really long way.
But let's get serious now.
All right.
Okay. So, but we also listen to each other. We support each other. We don't diss each other. We're
respectful.
Yeah, we don't call each other names mostly.
Yeah. I mean, really, not very much.
You did call me a dolt or something one time, but that
ding dong.
Ding
that
dong.
one time in here, it's true.
An ad hominem attack,
and I don't
very
really.
Rare,
I don't do that. It's so true. I was a little rare, but I also was just coming down with my virus during that time.
Oh, that's the excuse.
So I am going to. Okay. Blame it on that just a smidge.
So you can hang your hat on the virus for a while. You can dine out on that for a while, but I'm not going to let you get away with it for too long.
No, it can't be for too long. Anyway, I think that answers the question. There's no answer. It just seems to work well.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
So 32 years. And I mean, do you look forward to like traveling with me and taking a trip somewhere,
Sometimes,
having a good time together?
I do.
I mean, yeah.
I do. Do you with me?
I do. We haven't done it enough lately. We'd have to take a trip.
We need to take a trip. And you know what? I agree. It's been a while. I've gone my way. You've gone. We've been taking trips without each other. We need to take a trip together.
Yeah.
A nice vacation.
And here's the thing. Okay. So this is where one of our big differences lies. Okay. I think. So you like, when you travel, I think you like fine hotels and
Don't
fine
think,
dining.
you should know.
Okay. I like really rustic outdoors experiences. Like, to me, the quintessential hotel room for me is made of bamboo with palm fronds on the top.
Which I've done many times with you, by the way.
You have?
I have.
And are you still up for that? Or do you want room service?
I am. I love it. But it does have to have a nice tinge to it. Like
a tinge, like room service, right? Or like guys with white gloves.
It has
or
to
something.
be clean and nice.
Uh-huh.
It can't be ratchet.
So
there's a difference.
But if I wanted to travel to, let's say, Brunei.
I'd love to.
But you're talking about the rich part of Brunei.
Well, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the jungle part of Brunei.
I need to be safe. I don't want to go in a dugout canoe. I don't want to starve to death. I want to have a shower. I am to a point in my life.
This is the difference.
Well, but I'm to a point in my life where I don't want to suffer if I don't have to. I'm not going to go somewhere and suffer. I'm going to go somewhere and feel good. So if you can check off those, I'll go here, but I don't want to suffer.
So if we did a safari.
I would fucking love to do a safari.
Yeah, but you got to poop in the woods in a safari.
Not necessarily. You can do those fancy, glamping ones.
Oh, yeah.
I am not. I'll tell you right now. I'm not going around the corner and going in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not doing it. I won't.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. I won't. So you were going to have to find a way to make it so it's at least comfortable, because I'm not suffering.
Alone. I have to go alone to these places to travel solo. I want to go with my wife.
You've already done this kind of.
I like adventure travel.
I will do adventure travel, but it's got to be clean and it's got to make me not suffer. So I think there's plenty.
What about India?
I would love to go to India. I really would. And I know it's going to be iffy to go to India. You can get your, good stuff and then not so great stuff. I'm willing to sacrifice for that, but you can get both.
Well, I think right now we're going to be settling for Palm Springs. Probably.
Or Cabo.
Yeah.
How about we take a little trip to Cabo? I'd be super happy to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Eve, do we do another one or did we finish that one?
Let's do another one.
Hello, Mrs. Harry Hamlin and Mr. Lisa Rinna. My question is, what do you do when you are not a big fan of your friend's significant other? How are you supposed to navigate that? How are you supposed to navigate social situations, and especially when there have been major red flags? I feel like I'm going crazy. And when I tell my other friends, they're like, yeah, no, you're completely sane. But then when you're in the situation, you feel like you're going crazy. What do you do? How do you handle it? Please help me.
Oh, well, no, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what that's like at all.
Yeah, we do have a few
tricky.
people in our lives whose significant others are, shall we say, less than welcome or not.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it, though? She's asking how to deal with it. Well, I mean, it's really tricky, but I think you have to have your boundaries if you have a certain sense that that person is not right or you feel uncomfortable around.
But let me get this straight. So the question was, if I have a friend and their significant other is someone that you don't like, is that what we're talking about here?
I believe so. Right, Eve?
Yeah, so I think she's saying one of her friends is dating someone and she's not a fan of the person that her friend is dating, and she doesn't know what to do in those kind of social situations.
Well, basically, I think you really have to act your pants off, because we've had situations where maybe somebody that is in our lives has a significant other that we don't care for.
Well, I mean,
at all.
we do have that going on in our
And-
lives in a couple of areas, and it's delicate. I mean, it's
very
not
hard.
Yeah, it's not easy to do at all. I mean, because you don't want to offend the person who's your friend, because they're obviously with that person because they find something about that person that they love or like or find attractive, and so you have to respect them for having those feelings about the other person. But at the same time, if that other person doesn't fit in with your own kind of vibe, then
it's hard.
It could be difficult. Yeah.
And if they're not married, if they're just dating, I think it's a little bit easier. If they're married, that's really tricky.
It's really hard. And, let's say it's even a family member and you want to invite them for Christmas, but you can't stand the person that they're hanging out with. And then what do? Do you disinvite both of them and disinvite one and not invite the other? I mean, how does that work? I think it's just very awkward.
I do too. I don't wish that upon anybody. And I feel empathy for her because it's a tricky situation when you think that and feel that. So I know we didn't really answer your question, but we have great empathy for you.
I don't know that it's a question you can really answer because you want to keep the friendship with the person you like and who's in your orbit in your life. And at the same time, you don't want to be exposed to the person you don't like and have them around. So how do you navigate that?
You have to act a bit.
Act or also have compassion.
Oh.
Another way to deal with it is to say, okay, I'm going to have compassion for the person that I don't like and try to find out what about them I do like. And try to lean on that, focus on that rather than
deep, Harry.
Well,
it's good. It's actually very good, but that can be very hard.
We do have in our dining room, we have a large Kuan Yin, which is the Bodhisattva of compassion.
We do.
And she overlooks kind of the central part of our house every day and has for 20 years anyway. Eugenie gave us that.
That's right.
Our good friend Eugenie Spirito. Yeah. And I think every time I walk by the Bodhisattva of compassion, the Kuan Yin, I do think about, how you handle very, very tough situations with other people who you really can't stand. And you go, wait a minute, there's got to be something about that person that's okay. They're not completely bad all the way through. And if there's a way to have compassion for that person and understanding for their shortcomings or whatever they may be, maybe you can get past that, get through that and build some kind of a relationship that ultimately will work for you.
Wow, you would make a terrible housewife. But anyway, it's very good advice. And it really is. It's very evolved advice.
Well, I think you feel better about yourself if you can find a way to accept the person that you don't like into your life somehow.
That is very, very, very evolved advice.
Mm-hmm. Let's try to do that with some of the people in our life.
Exactly. We should listen to you.
Well, let's try to do that. Okay. You know who I'm talking about. Okay.
I do, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, next.
All right.
I'm not sure I'm that evolved.
Let me know when you guys are ready for the next one.
Okay. I'm ready.
Hi, Lisa. I have a question. What was your funniest moment, would you say, when you were on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Oh.
This was for you. The funniest moment that you had on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Well,
was there anything funny about The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Yeah, there was at times. I think personally, and she asked me, right? I think my funniest moment. There's a lot of funny moments, but I think my funniest was, remember for 5 years, the deal was you said to me, if you do Housewives, you just can't drink.
That's right. There were two rules. I said, because at first I said, I'll divorce you if you do it. And then I kind of softened on that. I found it was a good branding opportunity. But I said, if you do it, two things you got to do or I'm going to walk. And that is, number one, you can't drink on the show. And number two, you can't, in those days, we called them the message boards. Now it's the comments on social media. But I said, you can't look at the message boards, which means you can't look at the comments. Because the comments will drive you crazy.
Which, of course, that went out the window in the very beginning because everybody knows I was a fucking maniac on social media, responding to everybody.
Did you?
Oh, of course.
Well, but you didn't drink.
I didn't drink for 5 years. Now, nobody knows that. They kind of know it now, but I'm starting to talk about it. I did not drink for 5 years. And then we were in New York, and I was like, fuck this. I'm having a cocktail. And I had a vodka soda. And it was Teddy and Dorit fighting in this restaurant. I was drunk. I got drunk. And I am in this short blue dress. and I slither in next to Vanderpump, and I'm trying to keep my legs closed. And I think it's funny. I think it's the funniest moment I have on Housewives.
Wait a minute, slithering and trying to keep your legs closed?
Yeah, because I have a really short skirt on, so I'm trying not to the cameras on me. I'm trying not to flash the camera. And the way I slither down next to Vanderpump, and clearly I'm drunk, and this is also funny. She takes her hand and puts it on my face and pushes me back because we had a funny relationship at that point. And I think it's one of the funniest scenes.
Oh, I don't remember it at all. But that was the first time you had any alcohol on the show at all? The first time?
Yeah.
But you kind of got into it after that.
I
because
did.
The term drunk Rinna sort of became a meme.
Well, after that, I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to drink. And I continued to I didn't drink all the time, but at the dinners and the parties, it just made it more fun at that point. Well, after 5 years, it was just like, fuck it, I'm drinking.
Do you think that then there were 3 years when you were drinking?
Yeah.
And then you were off the show. Do you think that the fact that you started to drink had anything to do with the whole thing kind of blowing up in your face?
No. It didn't, because I never drank that much. I only had moments.
Wait a minute. When you were in Provence,
that was
you were
funny.
shit-faced.
I wasn't as shit-faced as everybody else.
Well, that's all relative, I guess.
We were
wine
tasting. That's another funny moment. We were wine tasting. There was 5 of us. There were 5 of us. Kyle started doing impressions. I mean, if you're at a wine tasting, come on, everyone's going to get drunk.
That was an amazing episode, that one.
One of the funniest of all times. And then the reason why I wasn't as drunk as everybody else, we had the vans. Everybody was in a freaking little Sprinter van. And they took bottles of wine with them in the Sprinter van for an hour drive back to the house. Eric and I slept. We didn't take a bottle and we didn't drink. So Kyle and Teddy and Dorit, they all drank.
They all had to be shoveled out of the Sprinter at the end of the day?
Yeah, by the time we then had to take a minute and then have a dinner, they were, well, you see it. You can see the whole thing. I have to say that
in answer to her question, the fun for me, and it's
what is your funniest?
The funniest moment for me was that moment in Provence.
Yeah, it's true.
When you guys were imitating each other
funny.
it was hysterical.
That's the funniest episode. I think I'm the funniest or at least I laugh at myself the most, was in New York when I was drunk and I slither in. So anyway, those are 2 funny moments.
Drunk Rinna.
Drunk
That's right.
Rinna was a good time.
And I've never seen you inebriated in our life.
Mm-mm.
I've seen you only slightly inebriated on that show.
You never seen me like that in life? A little bit.
I've never seen you.
No?
No,
maybe
because
I'm not a
little bit tipsy.
I'm not
but
a huge drinker.
I've never seen you you were a little out of control a couple of times on the show.
Oh, I was for sure. And I was out of control not drinking also. I can never blame it on drinking because I was plenty out of control when I wasn't drinking. I've never been blackout drunk. And this is so interesting because I did Jake Shane's podcast last week. And all those kids were talking about being blackout drunk all the time. I was like, you guys cannot get blackout drunk. Shit happens when you're blacking out. Don't do it. But they said it like it was a normal occurrence.
No.
Have you ever blacked out?
I've never been blacked out ever in my life. No.
I was like, you guys can't do that.
I only remember being shit-faced one time.
Did you ever throw up? I have thrown up.
Only once
drunk.
when I was 17.
When I was 17, I threw up.
Yeah, and it was tequila, and so I cannot. If I even smell tequila now, Don Julio.
Mine was the purple wine. What was that called? Like
Manischewitz. Oh my God!
I threw up in the sink at the Motel 6.
I don't want to even think about it. No. Get that image out of my head.
Sorry.
No Manischewitz vomit. I'm sorry.
I
not
remember
happening.
the green.
Yuck.
I had a green puffer jacket on.
No. The colors. Forget the colors. No. I don't want to hear about it.
Vomiting Manischewitz in the hotel Motel 6 sink.
That's terrible. Not good. Oh, well, no, I did find myself, when I was like 17, I stole out into my father's office and when they were out of town and alone, by the way. And but I did, the only time maybe that was when I was 17, I probably passed out, who knows. But when in my adult life, there was only one time I remember being drunk, and that was at my bachelor party to the wife that ran off with the pop singer.
Yes, I saw that cover on the
National
Enquirer with your pants down, and
her brother.
You had like strippers around you and shit. That's when I didn't know you, and I will say to you,
I went from being a well-respected Shakespearean actor to Charlie Sheen overnight because of that cover at
Could I
Star
put
Magazine.
that on a T-shirt? I want that on a T-shirt.
I went from a Shakespearean actor to Charlie Sheen overnight.
Didn't her brother like sell those pictures?
He did. He sold
for $10,000 and he bought a Harley.
He came to me and asked me to borrow $10,000 before the wedding, and I said, "No, you've dropped out of high school and you don't have a job. You want me to give you money to buy a motorcycle?" He said, "Yes." I mean, so I go, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that." So then, he gets himself invited to my bachelor party. He's like 18 or 17 or 18 or something
But
like
Kenny
that.
G threw you, correct?
Kenny threw the party. It was an amazing party, by the way. And it's the only time, and we hired, he got John Spencer, the great actor John Spencer, who was on LA Law with me, went on to do The West Wing and many other things. Just a fantastic guy and great actor. Also in the program, he was sober. And so Kenny thought that he'd be the perfect guy to be my second. And
what's your second?
To make sure that I didn't get too drunk. In other words, Kenny was throwing the party.
Well, that
he was
worked well.
orchestrating
That worked well, didn't it?
So John went out and got a shot glass, right? And I think it had my initials carved on it. And he put the shot glass. We went to Spago for dinner, the old Spago up on the hill.
I love the old Spago.
And we said that there were like 15 of us for dinner, all guys, including the brother, the young brother who got the motorcycle anyway. And he kept this shot glass next to me at the table. And he said to the waiter, "I never want to see this shot glass empty."
Oh!
That was John Spencer trying to keep me sober.
Who's in the program?
Who was in the program, right.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he did manage to keep me from blacking out because I didn't. Though I do recall every single moment of that night. And I was 4 sheets to the wind.
Was it fun though?
Yes, it was fun. It was a little bit out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
And had my wife, soon-to-be wife's brother, not had a high-speed camera with him that took pictures of me being harangued by naked strippers.
And remember, this is before cell phones. This is before social media. This is before everything. So he had like a Nikon camera.
The Star magazine gave him a high-speed camera. Because he made a deal with them that if he got pictures of my bachelor party, they'd give him the $10,000.
I thought it was the Inquirer, so it was the Star.
It was the Star, and he bought the motorcycle.
I'll just never forget being at the checkout stand at the market. I, of course, only knew you as Harry Hamlin. And I remember standing there looking over thinking, oh, that poor man. Look at him. What a fool. What a fool.
I know. Well, I mean,
I'm
it was
sorry,
a
Harry,
bachelor
but
party.
I had that moment.
But I mean, how do you, it's a line that you just don't cross. Guys,
this was your wife's brother.
Took pictures of my bachelor party in the most compromising moments of a bachelor party.
Yep.
I mean, that is crossing a red line that men don't cross.
Yeah.
Anyway, I survived it.
You did.
I met you. You still you didn't take it too much to heart that I was such the fool that you thought I was the day you saw me in the market. And by the way, I saw myself. I mean,
were you horrified? You must have been.
The day after the wedding.
You must have been. People are like Googling your Star cover right now. Sorry, but everyone's going to see it now.
I don't know if it's even available. Maybe it is.
Now they'll find it.
So we were both working, and so we went on a very short honeymoon to Palm Springs, and we got up in the morning and walked over to the market just to get some milk,
and
for
it
some
was
cereal.
there?
And I was standing in line at the market. It's the day after I got married, the day after we tied the knot. And I look up and I see myself on the cover of the Star magazine. The cover.
Did you know it was
inside.
the brother right away?
I figured it was right away. I mean, who else would? None of my friends would do such a thing. So yeah,
that must have been such a violation.
It was. Yeah, it was not cool. I mean, it's as the most uncool thing that anybody could do.
That probably didn't help your chances of staying married. Also,
no, it
maybe
didn't, because
that's kind of a red flag.
They all denied
right
it
out
at
the
first.
gate, honey.
They denied it at first.
All of them?
No, yeah, no way he could do that. Well, ultimately, it came out that that's what happened. I knew it right away, but
wow.
Anyway, I'm not married to that situation anymore, so I'm very happy to be married to you.
You're so fucking lucky. You really are.
I guess
on so many levels. Anyway, should we take another question?
Is there one?
Yeah, we have another one.
We have one more.
Did I make you nervous? I think I just made you nervous having to talk about that, but that's okay. That's what it's all about.
I'm okay with that.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Hey Lisa, hey Harry, this is Lorenzo from Lisa Rina Lovers, and I have two questions for you. The first one is, how's your relationship with your fandom, and have you ever dealt with some crazy fans? And the second one is, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old selves? Thank you so much.
Wow. He is lovely. He has a Instagram account where he posts things. It's called Lisa Rinna Lovers. And he posts some of the clips from my acting that I haven't seen in 25 years. He's really special. So, hi, Lorenzo.
Oh, great. Hi, Lorenzo.
Really so cool.
Glad you like her. I do too.
Do you remember what he asked exactly? What would
I
you?
like the. What advice would you give your
20-year-old self, for sure.
The first question was, have you ever had a really crazy fan? What's your relationship with your fandom?
My fandom relationship, I love.
Yeah.
And you too, right? Love.
Yeah.
It's great. Mostly. Yeah. Great. Fantastic.
And what's the craziest fan you ever had to deal with?
I think we've had crazy. I've had crazy.
But
mine's around housewife stuff. So I don't really hold it too tightly because it's kind of the way it goes sometimes.
Then what advice would you give your 20-year-old self? Now, I met you when you were 29, right at your Saturn return. When you were 20, what were you like when you were 20? Where were you when you were 20? And what advice would you give to yourself?
I was in San Francisco with Bob when I was 20.
Had you left the college thing already?
Yeah. You left the college thing after 3 months, so I was 18.
So you'd gone to San Francisco to be a model?
Well, Bob was working for Esprit, so we moved to San Francisco because that was the headquarters, and I was modeling, if you call it that. I was working for Nike. Remember, I was in Beaverton with my sister, my half sister Nancy, and I got a job doing the Nike catalogs. And then we would go around to these shows and do aerobics in our Nike clothes. So I can't really say that's a modeling job, but it paid me.
Yeah. So that was right around the time that Jane Fonda was doing her thing?
Yes.
So aerobics, right? Aerobics was big, right?
Yes.
Then,
and when I first moved to Los Angeles, I went right to Jane Fonda's studio on Robertson Boulevard. First thing I did.
And was she there? Was she teaching it?
She was there, not all the time, but she was there. And I took that class for years, and it was the greatest joy of my life at the time, by far.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's why you're in such great shape now? Because you did
that.
aerobics for so many years?
I've always done it, though. I've always done something. I started out with jazzercise when I was 16 at the local church in Medford.
Jazzercise?
Jazzercise. Do you even know what that is?
Did that then morph into aerobics?
Basically, yeah, it did. And so what I would tell my 20-year-old self was try not to fucking worry about anything and just have fun.
So worry is a big issue. Yeah.
At 20, I was just worried about everything.
There have been studies that have been done about centenarians, people who've lived to over 100 years old. And they say, looking back on your life, what were the biggest wastes of time? What were the things you regret? Number one among all of them in every study that I've seen is worry.
I know.
Is they say the biggest waste of time is to worry about anything because you never know what's going to happen, And yet we worry all the time. Yeah. I'm a worrier myself.
I know you are. Yeah. I was insecure. So I was insecure and I was worried. And that is just not a cute combination. It wasn't cute. So I would say that. What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Well, I think that's a big one. Like I'm dealing with worry right now. It means, our lives progress and we have different obligations. We have meetings we have to get to. We have things we got to get done. And there's all that you can pile all this stress on yourself if you let yourself. But it's how we think about it that really is important. And so to think positive thoughts, to not allow yourself to go down that negative rabbit hole, that's the challenge.
Yeah, I would tell my 20-year-old self, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
I had this funny thing that happened to me when I was 19 years old. I got in a terrible, terrible car wreck. And my girlfriend was driving, and I was asleep in the passenger seat. We were in Virginia.
Remember this.
And she pulled into the opposite lane, and we ran head on into a station wagon going 65 miles an hour. And the moment I woke up and I looked out and I saw this car coming at us. I knew that in 2 seconds I would be dead because there was no way to survive this crash. Those 2 seconds were absolutely blissful.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden, all the worry, all of the stress of my life went away. And I've been ever since then. There's been, decades and decades since that happened. I went, like, how do you get to that sense of everything being okay without having imminent death in front of you?
And is that just living in the moment? Is that where it goes back to?
I guess so.
Trying to live in the moment?
I've been thinking about it lately a lot. Because it was such an amazing, blissful feeling and sensation that I'll never forget it. It only lasted for a second or so before we crashed.
Wow.
But it was an extraordinary moment of like everything was okay. So in that sense, in the long, grand scheme of things, everything's going to be okay because, the curtain's going to come down.
For us all. Anyway, thanks, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. I love everything that you do. It's so cute. I'll show you. It's really sweet.
I'd like to see what he does. Yeah.
Really sweet. All right, next. One more?
We have one last one.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hello, Lisa and Harry. I love your new podcast. It's great. One question. Please, Harry, why can't we get your sauce in the UK? Thanks so much. Love you both. Good luck.
That's
My
cute.
sauce. Well, thanks for the question.
Thank you. So cute.
Hopefully, you'll be able to get my sauce in the UK soon.
Good.
It is available on Amazon here in the US. Whether they ship to the UK or something,
I don't believe so.
They probably don't.
I don't believe so. So work to do, I guess.
I've got work to do. I've got to get this. I've got to make this sauce global.
Yes.
And we've just come out with our second sauce, which is amazing.
I love it so much.
I know, Lisa. You put it on everything. The vodka sauce, which is the spicy tarragon vodka.
So good.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's amazing.
But you
right?
have to add cream to it, right? When you get it home, you don't have to, but if you want it the way that I love it.
If you like it pink, the flavor profile doesn't change that much with the cream. It's more of a color thing than anything else. But you can put some cream in it. It takes a little bit of the edge off if you put the cream in it.
Because it's a little spicy.
It's a little spicy, but that's the whole idea. It's spicy tarragon vodka sauce.
Really good.
Yeah. And we're working on our third sauce now. I can't tell you what it is.
Look at you go.
I'm going to be cooking it over the weekend.
Are you?
I am. I am. I'm cooking it tonight, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to get to eat.
You're going to get some of it. I'm going to cook it tonight as soon as we're done here.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly when it's going to be available in the UK, but darn it, I'm going to make sure it is eventually. Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
I like the questions.
It's always fun to do questions. It's like a question and answer thing.
I love
takes
it.
all the pressure off of you when you get a question and answer situation.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to
I love it. We'll do more of that. So guys, call in. No. Yeah, you leave a voicemail.
Yeah,
you call
in and leave a voicemail.
And leave a voicemail, and we'll do this. Maybe we'll even just do it once a week or something.
I guess
well, maybe not once a week because we come on once a week, but maybe once a month.
Once a month we could do it. Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching. Let's not talk about the husband.
You are so funny.
Even though I'm right here.
You are here.
Yeah.
You are here.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.